Hey guys, welcome back to KidCoin Academy. I am Dave and we are here with our very first lesson. So, if you want to know all about what this channel is about, I suggest you go watch my intro video. I'll post a link in the description below and you can check out who I am and what the channel is all about and what we're going to be doing here. So like I said, this is my very first lesson video. And today, which you might have noticed in the intro and the title of the video, we are going to be talking about what is money. So sounds like a simple question, but I promise you it is far more interesting than you probably think it is. So today we are going to be talking about some properties of money. Now, this video is about the very first one. There are three. I'm going to make three separate videos about the three separate properties of money. And to start out, I want to make sure that we are all understanding the words we're using. So I think that's going to be an important focus, is defining words. So when I say property, you might be thinking of many things. Property could mean a piece of land, piece of property. Something along that line. But when I say properties of money, when I say property, I just mean a characteristic or an attribute of something. So a good example of this would probably be like a car. If you were to tell me what some of the properties of a car are, first thing you might say would be, well, a car has wheels. I would say, okay, great. So wheels are a property of a car, but you might want to go a little bit further and say, well, I think a property of a car is, it has four wheels, not just wheels, but four. If it had three wheels, it would be a tricycle. If it had two wheels, it would be a bicycle or a motorcycle. So you could say a property of a car is that it has four wheels. So we're going to be talking about properties of money, just like we would talk about the properties of a car. So these are just characteristics or attributes of money. Okay, so before we start talking about the very first property of money, I want to ask again, what is money? What is it? I'm going to put two images up on the screen just over here. And think about it for a second and let me know, which of these do you think is money? We're going to start with an easy one. So take a look. And if you said this one, you are correct. So that is money. And the other one is not. So when I say what is money, and you look at these things and you go, that's money. Why do you think that one's money and the other's not? If you're right, why were you right? So that's important. This is something we're going to explore further as we learn more and more about money. So if that is money and that is not, why? I mean, what really is this anyway? This is just a colorful piece of paper. It's nothing. Why would anyone accept this and then give me stuff for this? I mean, I could get a piece of paper, color it green, write the number 20 on it, and take it into a store, and they would probably say, I'm not accepting that. I'm not going to give you stuff for that. Why? Why wouldn't they? Well, the answer is that this is money because the government of Canada says it is. And you and I accept that. So we go, okay, what is money? The government says, this is money. And we all go, Okay, that's money. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but not really. Not really. So today we're going to explore the first property of money, which we are going to call a medium of exchange. So money is a medium of exchange. I'm going to put it up here. Medium of exchange. So we're going to work through this, and we're going to think about these words and what they mean. Because again, just like property, we want to be clear about what we mean when we say certain words. So when I say money is a medium, what is that? What is a medium? I mean, when I think of the word medium, I get a medium coffee at Tim Hortons. Or if someone is a medium, maybe they can talk to ghosts. Like a medium is someone who can communicate with dead people, ghosts. That's another definition of the word medium. But medium also means a material or a substance that something travels through, like sound waves. So you're sitting here watching this video right now, and the sound is coming out of a phone or a tablet or a computer or speaker in some way. And you're hearing that sound, you're interpreting the words I'm saying. And the sound waves are traveling through the air. The air is the medium. So let's think about that for a second. Imagine you're at a birthday party and it's a pool party. Now, I remember going to pool parties as a kid. I had a swimming pool at my house when I was a kid. So me and my sisters used to swim all the time. And one thing I recall doing as a kid, which maybe you've done, is my sisters and I, or my friends, if they were over swimming, sometimes we would go underwater and we would try and talk to each other. We would hold our breath, we would go under, and we would try our best to say something. And when we would come up, the other person would try and guess what the other person had said. So if you've ever done that, then you kind of get where I'm going. It's really hard to hear what someone else is saying when you're underwater. Why is that? Well, sound waves don't travel as well through water as they do through the air. And no, that's not true. The denser the medium, the better sound travels. The problem is our ears are designed to pick up sound waves that travel through the air. So the air is the medium. So when I say medium, I mean a material that transmits a message like a sound wave does. And when we talk about money as a medium, just like in the example with water, we want to make sure that the medium we're using is the best possible medium. So we're going to talk about this more in the future as well. But just like air is a better medium to transmit sound waves than water, so money as a medium needs to be the best possible medium we can make it. So just like air is a better medium than water for us to interpret sounds, money needs to be the best medium we can make it to interpret what? So if I'm going to compare money to sound, or if I'm going to compare money to me sitting here talking to you right now, you might think, well, if money is a medium, then what's the message? What is it saying? What am I communicating when I use money? The answer to that question is somewhat complex, but we're going to talk about it on this channel. We are. Don't worry. The answer to that question is prices. And it sounds simple, but prices are incredibly important. And money, the money we use as a medium of exchange, needs to be able to transmit prices as a form of communication. Just like I'm sitting here talking to you, money communicates prices. So that's our very first lesson. And I want you to think about that. Money is a medium of exchange. It's something we give to get something in return. So that's the exchange part of that phrase. So we talked about medium and the definition of what we mean when we say medium in medium of exchange. But exchange is self-explanatory, I hope. Exchange just means we've traded something, we've exchanged something. So when we talk about economics or we talk about money, we're talking about exchanging money for stuff. That's what we use money for. And we exchange money for stuff because it's better than exchanging stuff for stuff. So what does that mean? Why is money better to exchange for stuff than stuff? Well, the answer is because the things we want and the things we need aren't the same. And when we need them and when we want them aren't the same between you and me or between anybody. So we need to use something else to exchange for things. Now, a good example of this would be, let's say you want wood. You want to build a sled. I live here in Canada. In the winter it snows, and so we go sledding quite a bit. Let's say you wanted to make a sled out of wood. You need wood. So let's say I have wood. And you go, okay, great. Give me some wood. I would say, okay, well, I need something too. And then you would say, okay, well, if you give me wood, I'll give you, well, what do you need? What should I give you? And I would say, I really need some milk. I want to have a bowl of cereal and I want to pour some milk on it. Can you give me some milk? What if you don't have milk? How are you going to get the wood to make your sled? So this is why money is important, because if I give you money, or if you give me money and I give you wood, and then I can take that money and buy milk, and the person I give the money to for milk, they can take that to get what they need, and so on and so forth. That is money. That makes things a lot easier. It's a lot easier to trade money for stuff than it is to trade stuff for stuff, because the stuff I want and the stuff you want aren't the same. And when I want my stuff and when you want your stuff isn't the same either. So we need to find a way around this. And money is the solution. And money has existed for a long, long, long time. Lots of stuff has been used as money in the past, and we're going to talk about that too. Some very interesting things have been used as money in the past. But the reason why money was used has been the same. It's been the same for thousands of years. So this is a fundamental property of money. It is a medium of exchange. We use it because it's easier to exchange money for stuff than it is to exchange stuff for stuff. So that's the lesson today. And I hope you enjoyed it. So we're going to do another video about the second property of money. I'll give you a sneak peek, a sneak preview. We'll let you in on a little secret. The next thing we're going to talk about is money as a unit of account. So that's the second property of money we're going to explore. So we talked about what is a property, and then we talked about money. First property of money is a medium of exchange. So we defined what a medium is. We defined what exchanging things is, and we explored why it's better to exchange money for stuff than it is to exchange stuff for stuff. And money has always existed, and it's always been used for this purpose. So this isn't a new thing, but it is what it is. And we also talked about this. We also talked about that this is money because the government says it's money. And the government says it's money, and we all went, okay, so we use it as money. And this is not the same as that. It's not. This is money. That's credit. We're going to talk about that too in future videos, but that's just a quick recap about what we talked about today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are getting curious about what we're going to talk about in the future. But that is my very, very first lesson about what money is. And that's the very first lesson for the channel. So if you want to leave a comment below, please let me know how you think it went. If you have any questions, if you have any criticisms, if you want to see something different, if you want to see something better, if you want to see my cats, let me know and I'll try and work them into the next video. But please, please let me know what you think. And I will see you again very, very soon, probably in the next week with another video about our second property of money. So thank you for watching and take care. I'll see you soon.